Hi folks, we're going to take a look at the chords to the tune Sally Gooden. It's really basic chord progression, only has 2 chords. It's usually played in the key of A, and if you're a beginner this would be a good tune to start out. You'll play it a lot in jam sessions, so let's take a look at those chords. Alright, we're going to start out Sally Gooden here with an A chord, and we're going to use what I call bluegrass style chop chord A. And you can take a look at the lesson on chop chords, which will show you in a little more detail how to play this, but I'll show you real quickly here. We're using our 2nd finger on the 1st string, 5th fret. Then we're bringing our 1st finger in at the 4th fret on the 2nd string. So we've got that little pair. Then we bring our 3rd finger over to the 3rd string at the 7th fret. Then the big stretch. You want to bring your little finger all the way to the 9th fret of your 4th string. Now, you're going to find, if you're just starting out with this, that that's a really big stretch for your little finger. So what I suggest you do is lay them down in the opposite order that I just showed them to you. Start with the little finger. Put it on there and let your hand be as comfortable as possible. Play that note. Then reach back with your 3rd finger. Get the 7th fret. Then put these other 2 in. These fingers are a lot more flexible and a lot more mobile in most people, so make them do all the weird contortions. Get these 2 locked on there first. And in truth, when you're playing the chop, we're going to be striking the strings from above with a downstroke, and we're primarily going to be hitting these low-pitched strings. We don't often even hit the 1st and 2nd string during a chop. You can, but I think a lot of beginners get a very beginner-sounding chop because they clamp down on all 4 notes and rake through all 8 strings like that. And it's just too much. It's too much treble end up here. I kind of prefer a more woody bark that you get out of the low strings, the bass strings. So I suppose a person could even cheat and just use their 1st and 2nd finger up here to play those 2 notes. And honestly, it sounds pretty much the same. Anyway, that's our A chord for Sally Gooden, and if you look at your chord progression on the web page there, you'll see that we've got 3 full measures of A. So that's going to be 6 beats. And we're going to play the chop in between each beat. So you just listen for the bass, and after you hear the bass note, you drop your chop in. Then we're going to move to the E chord. The E chord, if you keep this basic little triangle shape of these 3 fingers out of our A chord, just lift your little finger up. Move everything over 1 string. That'll give you a D chord. And now move it up 2 frets higher. That's our E chord. And again, we're just going to play mostly the low strings. And also, each time I'm doing this chop, I'm pushing the strings down to the frets just as I strike the strings. And then I'm relaxing my fingers so the strings rise up and are deadened or muted by my fingertips. They're quiet now. When I push them down, they ring. When I release, it cuts them off. And what you're striving for, at least initially, is a nice little short, clear note. And you may want to practice switching between A and E before you tackle the song. Now let's go ahead and play it, and I'll demonstrate just a real basic chop at a kind of a slow speed for you. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and. Now that you've got those two basic chords figured out, let's practice it at a little bit quicker speed. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and. When you get tired of playing all those chop chords and you want to learn the melody, go over and take a look at the premium download called Sally Gooden, and you'll learn 4 ways to play the lead to this song. Anyway, hope you have fun chopping, and I'll see you next time.